Okay, just hang on a minute, guys. Yeah, all right, just hang on. We'll do the introduction. Okay, and away we go. Okay, here we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome once again to the Enhanced Sports Show. It's a little bit after 4 o'clock in the Northeast. My name is Lou Tenor, and welcome to another edition. The number to call, of course, is 512-543-4662. Repeat it again, 512-543-4662. And we'll be here just before 6 o'clock when Monsieur McGee takes over his fine show. By the way, if you don't wish to call in but like to hear the show, remember we're also on YouTube. Just put in YouTube and type in the Enhanced Sports Show, and the show will come up in its entirety. So hopefully you'll get a chance to hear it. I'm sorry for the last couple of weeks why you haven't been able to hear yourselves after the show is over. We're trying to work on that, so just bear with me because I'm trying to figure it out myself. And before I begin, I want to wish a few happy birthdays to my sister-in-law Denise and her daughter as well. That's of course my niece as well. Her birthday is actually today. So happy birthday and enjoy it. Okay. So Steve Davidson is here. Steve Kent and Diane's here. And by the way, her name is Aviana. And she's also my goddaughter. So it's a double happy birthday. Okay. So I will. Diane's like an aunt to her. So okay. All right. So where should we begin? Oh yeah. Well, for starters, the Women's World Cup has got underway, and the U.S. Had their first match last night. A rather convincing win. against Vietnam. Okay, it wasn't the slaughterhouse victory like it was a 15-0 back 4 years ago, but nevertheless a convincing win against Vietnam as they beat Vietnam 3-0. Sophia Smith scored 2 goals in the first half, and Lindsay Horan got the insurance goal to give it a 3-0 lead, and that is despite missing a penalty kick by my favorite player, Alex Morgan, shortly before the first half ended. In that case, it would have been 4-0. Well, how do you miss a penalty kick anyway? Next stop, the U.S. will take on the Netherlands, or as I say, the Dutch, and that game will be Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. It's nice to see that these matches are starting early because some of these other matches are having these ridiculous times of, say, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 o'clock in the morning, which well, don't forget, Diane, there is a considerable time difference between here and Australia and New Zealand. So I'm sure that the home they're doing to accommodate the home crowd out there. I get it. I don't like it. I get it. But I'm sure that they put on the U.S. matches so the U.S. Can see these at a more reasonable hour. But if they get past the later rounds, they're not able to do that. So we're gonna have to be stuck with those quarterfinal and semifinal matches at 3 a.m. or something. That's already been planned in advance. We'd have no control over that. Yeah. So for all you night owls out there, it's a good thing though. Night owls, insomniacs, and what have you. And you think it has a better chance than they did 4 years ago because that was an unstoppable team. I'm not too sure about this year, especially when they have to play their third match because against Portugal. That looks like it'd be a tough one, Steve. I'm not too convincing on that one. I'll give you that. Ooh, V for Vendetta. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. One thing I don't like is a V for Vendetta. Oof, that's gotta be tough. Yeah, but yeah, I think so too. You're right about that. I would have thought maybe 6-0 or 7-0. Like I said, it wasn't the slaughterhouse, but it was a convincing victory. That's rather low. Yeah, that's rather low. Uh, yes, right. But hey, a win is a win, no matter how you slice it. I mean, sometimes you get victories of 2-1. Sometimes you get 4-0. Sometimes you get 13-0. Sometimes it could be a 1-0 facing a shootout. But a win is a win, any way you look at it. So to continue on, yes. So okay, sure enough, Vietnam were as defensive as advertised, as they repeatedly tried to disrupt the attacking rhythm of the four-time champs by fouling U.S. players whenever possible. Of course. Still, it took Smith only 14 minutes to give the favorites the lead. Horan began the play with a no-look pass to Morgan that carved through Vietnam's midfield. Morgan flicked the ball into space for the onshoring Smith, who took a touch and coolly beat goalkeeper Thin Kim Tran with her left foot. If I mess these up, I apologize. So the U.S. had several chances of varying quality before the half was out. No bigger than Thad save on Morgan's spot in the 43rd minute. Smith finally doubled the Americans' advantage by following a lengthy video review deep in the second stoppage, but it was her first that sent the Americans the way to victory. Yeah, there was one goal that didn't count, but by that time the game was in its late stages, and it was going to be too much for Vietnam to catch up. So it really didn't matter at that point. So USA, instead of 4-0, got 3-0. But it could have been 4. But like you said, it could have been a lot more. I'm not so sure it would have been, the blowout like, in previous. I mean, I think, some of these teams, I think a bit underrated um, in this tournament. The U.S. fired 28 shots on goal, and while just 7 of them ended up on the target, they made 4 saves to keep the final result more respectable for her team. Okay, I like that. So that was a good match. What's next? Well, with job 1 done and 3 critical points, the U.S. can now turn its attention to its most important World Cup game since the group stage finale getting to win against Nigeria in 2015 to guarantee a first place finish over Australia toward and the more favorable round of 16 matchup that came with it. The favorites must be better than that in that one. The Dutch are a formidable foe. That's true. A loss could be disastrous, as would likely see the Americans face either Spain or Sweden. Uh-oh. I don't like the sound of that. Spain's tough too, like I said. And Sweden, Sweden's tough too. And both might be legitimate title contenders to open up the knockout stage. Okay. But after taking care of business in the current razor, the Americans, who will have a fresh Rose Lavelle after Lavelle played just the last 27 minutes off the bench Friday, have to like their chances. Yeah, I do too. And Vietnam will now face Portugal in their second game. Okay, that's gonna be a tough one too. Like I said, Portugal is a very dangerous team, and I think they have a formidable chance of getting first place in the group as well. So it's a lot to take in. So what do we make of our second matchup on Wednesday? Steve Davidson, I'll start that with you. You think so? A piece of cake? I don't know. I don't know if I can guarantee anything this time around. Steve Kent. Oh, yeah, 11. Mm, right. Yes, of course. All right. I'll buy that. Diane, any thoughts? Mm, maybe, but I'm still a little worried about this matchup against Portugal. I'm still a little worried about this matchup against Portugal. I mean, it's not gonna be easy. So did anybody actually watch the game last night? I was watching it because I was waiting to see, what happens with this tournament. I always take potential tournaments. So, did anybody watch the game last night? Okay, fair enough. So, as I said, the next match is Wednesday, 9 o'clock, and that's a fairly reasonable time in this tournament. I just don't like these matchups at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. On the men's side, exactly. On the men's side, we had the Gold Cup final on Sunday night. Mexico against Panama, or is it Panama? Never mind. Okay, uh, Diane, explain it later. She's not a Van Halen fan, folks. She's not a Van Halen fan, folks. Okay, so in the Gold Cup final, a second half substitution, Santiago Ramirez scored with 2 minutes left in regulation time to give Mexico a 1-0 lead over Panama. And I don't know about you, but I was shocked. I mean, I almost dropped to the floor. What happened? Like, oh my goodness. I mean, here we are. Here I am thinking it's going to be going into extra time, possibly a shootout. But then Ramirez, with the 88 minutes, in the 88th minute or 89th minute, actually, to take that 1-0 lead and hold it to the end. Actually, that happened in the match I saw this morning in the Women's World Cup. It scored in the 88th minute. Wow. So, Edison, okay, and secure the extending ninth title. Okay. Edison Alvarez found Ramirez near midfield before he raced past two defenders and slid home with his left foot for the 88th minute. For an 88th minute winner that sent a sellout crowd at SoFi Stadium to a frenzy. And anybody watched the game was also in a frenzy as well. I know I was. Oh boy, what a game! It is indestructible. Argentina-born Ramirez said after the match. The only thing I feel is the love and passion for those who are always there. God, my family, and the people who came today, now last Sunday. And a total of 75,000 people were in attendance, and we had to give them the cup. Exactly. The victory was a welcome one for Mexico, who had failed to make it beyond the group stage at last year's World Cup. It also denied the underdogs Panama, who upset the U.S. on the previous Wednesday in the semifinals, to their first Gold Cup title. The U.S. has won the biannual tournament 7 times, and Canada once. Oh yeah, well yeah, Canada did win once. I just forgot when. Canada's becoming a choir soccer team, fellas. So you know, don't knock them. Hey, Gerald. And of course we lose. And of course, if we ever lose, we can always just blame Canada. Blame Canada. Never. No, I'll forget. Uh, yes, that's a reference to you South Park fans. Okay, Mexico looked to have broken the deadlock in the 33rd minute, but Henry Martin's goal was disallowed for an offside after a video review. They had another excellent opportunity just before the break, but Panama keeper Orlando Mosquera denied them again. That's what we call defense, everybody. Panama's Harold Cummings. Okay, who's got a problem this time? Just a second. So this was on a roller coaster. Okay, all right. Alex, so welcome aboard. Okay. It's funny, I only heard one ding and get 2 people came in. Interesting. Okay. So moving on. Okay. So we were in the 88th minute. There we go. Um, Cummings was shown a second yellow card in the 63rd minute, but the referee reversed the decision after it was determined that there was no contact on the play. Happens every time. I don't see it in dodgeball though. Well, okay. Uh, some people think it is. right. And again, some people, yeah. So so anyway, just before that goal was scored by Mexico, Panama's best chance came was a minute before that, but Edgar Barcelona's long range shot sailed wide of the goal. I think it was wide right. Ramirez, who had only been on the pitch a few minutes, then came up with the goal of the game. Mexico will hope to win the marks a new chapter for the team, who are being led by Jamie Lorenzo after Diego Coco was fired following last month's National Nations League. So Mexico pulled it out. I wasn't sure whether it was going to go. Getting late in the game, I thought maybe it was going to go at least to extra time. I don't know if it was going to be a shooter or not, but in that 88th minute goal, wow! I mean, I was stunned. Repeat that again, Gerald. Really? Hmm. Yeah. So I guess we got to send back to the canal. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy for Mexico too. I think they're a more deserving team. Um, and congratulations to them. So now it's on to next year's Olympics and see what they can do. And I believe they did win the I think they play next in the league in the Champions League. Well, no, there's another league tournament that's going on right now, but that doesn't apply to just the country itself. That's various teams from like the countries of Mexico, Panama, and whatnot. So it's kind of like MLS meets the world, or at least Mexico. Yeah, yeah. It's and Lionel Messi, well, he was there, and boy, was that crowd in a frenzy. They came to watch him play last Sunday in the in one of those league matches I mentioned, and 75,000 people were there, and as he makes his American debut, and believe me, the crowd was ready. Too bad I wasn't able to see it since it was on ESPN Plus. Oh boy. Yep. No. Well, yeah, yeah. Well, look, yeah, Miami's in last place right now, and if they're gonna do something with Messi in the line, they better do it in a hurry. Is now during the second half of the season. Yes, yes, that's true. Right, right. No, oof, yes, yeah, yes, yes, we do. Well, I do. Mm, right, yeah, but I think it's gonna take a lot more than Messi to get Miami, on track. You know, he did well. He did get the final game winning goal, and what a way to start his MLS debut. So congratulations on that. So it's on to the next round, and hopefully that we'll get to see a few of his games, before this season is over. Devin, any thoughts on the soccer matches? Well, like the Women's World Cup, the Gold Cup, Messi's debut, Messi's American debut. I should. Yes, yeah, I should. Yeah, I kind of thought maybe something would have happened. Yeah, yeah. In American money, oh, it's got to be the thousands, of course. Yeah, yeah, right, right. Which I was, yeah, right. Yes, yes, mhm, yes, yep. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Excuse me for exactly. Who's gonna say the way to watch anything? Good answer. Good answer. Steve, is everything okay? Steve Davidson. Okay, I hear from somebody, but let's go on. Right. Jimmy's here. Hey, Jimmy. All right. Yes, they did. Yeah. Okay. Tennis, anybody? We had the men's final in Wimbledon last Sunday, And Wonder Boy Carlos Alcaraz pulled off the upset over the Joker in 5 sets to win his first Wimbledon title, his second Grand Slam, and stopped the Joker from completing the calendar Grand Slam. Not easy to do by any means. The match was a grueling 4 hours, 42 minutes long, the third longest in tournament history. Playing in only his fourth tournament on grass, the sensation from Spain proved to be a quick study on the surface. In two previous appearances at Wimbledon, Alcaraz could do no better than the fourth round. He displayed marked improvement last year, but nothing signaled his performance that he would come away with a victory to lift the Gentleman's Trophy or to have one of the world's best players of the game. So Joker doesn't get the record. And this new kid, Alcaraz, he looks to be the next golden boy on the tennis circuit. So, now he'll play the U.S. Open coming up coming up next month. First, a few other minor tournaments. But Alcaraz looks to be the real deal here. If he can beat, Djokovic, yeah. If he, oh, yeah. But to beat someone like that, I mean, that's pretty remarkable itself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, Dad, have you seen Mike at all? Hmm. Oh, maybe. All right. Yeah, well, it's at least a good day here in the neighborhood, unlike the last few days. Yeah. Did I say that? Oh, did I say? Look at this mark for the record, folks. Oh, boy. Yuck. Okay, moving on before I cause any further damage. Yeah, and okay, and in the I don't know if anyone was paying attention this past week, but we had the NBA Summer League conclude. I know you're thinking, oh, big deal, the NBA Summer League, big whoop. Well, look, I mean, there was a lot of talk about this year when you had Victor Wembanyama before he was out in the second game. Um, it was kind of like a little bit of a letdown because I wanted we want to see how the top overall draft pick plays in this tournament, and he was disappointed, but he did well in the second game. So anyway, Isaiah Mobley is making the progress the Cavaliers wanted. He scored 23 points, including the game winner in overtime against the Nets, setting up Monday's Monday's final against the Rockets. With the Cavaliers needing to hit a target score of 101, Mobley went 1 for 1 and maneuvered his way into the lane when he faked a turnaround jumper and sank a soft-handed one shot to steal a victory away from the Nets and keep the Cavaliers undefeated in summer league play. That's that's unfortunately on my part. Mobley, a second-round pick in 2022, went 9 for 15 from the field, had 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. Emoni Bates, this year's second-round pick, scored his fifth straight double-digit game for the Cavaliers. He finished with 20 points and 7 rebounds, and had 4 of those in overtime. Luke Tavers finished with 12 points, 12 rebounds, 11 points. Yeah, I know it's only summer league, but some of those summer league games can be pretty interesting, and it's like serving what you might see come the start of the regular season. When you think, yeah, right, right, right. It's worth something. No, no, it isn't always the case, Diane, but, sometimes. Yeah, yeah. Well, don't forget, you gotta see if you can also, make the roster for the preseason. That's what preseason is for. Yes. Yeah. Ah, okay. All right. Uh, oh, that's it right there. I like that. Smart. Yeah. A Barcelona reunion. I didn't think. Yeah. Right. Yes. They'll run the league. No, no, that's fine. I mean, anytime you get breaking news here, that'd be wonderful. I mean, because we need the news. Okay. Well, now from the sublime to the ridiculous, and it's something, of course, is not surprising at all. It finally happened on Thursday as Dan Snyder is no longer owner of the Washington Whatnots, or AKA the Commanders. Yeah. NFL owners held a special session on Thursday and came to no surprise as they voted unanimously to approve the sale from the Snyder family to a group led by Josh Harris. The Harris Group is paying over $6 gazillion, well, 6 billion, but enough anyway, for a record for a North American sports franchise. Snyder had been the majority owner since 1999, and his family became the sole owners after he bought as a part after he bought as partners just 2 years ago. Harris said he felt humbled and as he became the new owner of the Commanders. I feel a great responsibility to the city of. Yes, I know. I'm gonna get to that. This is a two-part story, girl. This is a two-part story. Yeah, I couldn't fit all of it. I could not fit all in one article because then my yeah 'cause- yeah. Okay, so Washington Harrison, I know what I have to do. It comes down to winning. It's on me and our relationship and our ownership group to deliver. That's what we're going to do. The franchise is part of who I am, but being a fan is not enough. To be successful, we need to win championships, create a positive impact on the community, and create incredible memories for our fan base, like when I was young growing up. Commissioner, hold on. You're right. You're right. And if you don't live the task, you shouldn't be an honor either. You do. And the will to win. Let's get that straight right now. Hold it, hold it. Think so? Yes. Right. No. Yes. No, but not really. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes. No, right. They are. Alright, and as you were mentioning, Gerald, yes, he was fined, Snyder was fined, $6 million, but, it was not yeah, yeah. I mean, not for nothing, but I think he was a terrible owner. Mm. Yeah, I think so too. I think he got off too lightly. Yeah, the toxic waste. Yes, that was not good. So that was there was no need for that. Well, I don't know about oh, I was thinking something else. I was thinking something else. I was thinking, "Wait, I got it. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, oh witch, the wicked witch." Oh, oh, thank you. Well, you're always thank you. Yeah, I think go right ahead, and then I'll get to Roger. Okay, Di, go ahead. He's up, though. Alright, let's do it. Oh, yeah. Zonka? Zonka, Larry Zonka. I Chuck Howley, Chuck Howley. Right. Mhm. Yes. Right. You now call him Indianapolis. Well, okay, Ravens or Indianapolis. Go on, continue. Gotta go with it. Gotta go with it. Gotta go with it. Damn it. Jim Thorpe. Jim Thorpe. Ah, wow. Larry Nevers. Okay. Ha. Ooh, my brother's not gonna hate that one. He's a Bears fan. Yes. The Jets. The Jets. The Jets. The Jets were named in 1963. Yes. Oh, what a night it was. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, yes. Okay. All right, on to the Open, or known as the British Open. John Ram did all he could to get back himself in the mix at the Open. All it took was required was the lowest round ever at Royal Liverpool and 13 times hosting the major. Ram birdied seven of his last 10 holes today for a 63 two shots, the lowest score at, Liverpool. The course was the only one in the modern rotation that had not yielded lower than a score of 65. That is until today. Pretty interesting. Um, Ranked third in the world, Ram hold a 12-foot birdie putt on the par 5 closing hole, right about the time Ryan Hartman, who was still in the lead, teed off, following Hartman's 2 under 69. Ram is still 6 shots back at 6 under par in third place. Can it be done? Yes, it can. Will it be done? That's another story. I mean, 6 shots going in your final round looks like it's almost impossible to make up. But when you're coming back from where you were yesterday, I think maybe Ram has a legitimate shot to maybe win this thing, or at least come second. Ram made a move with his four straight birdies around him around the turn. He's finished sharp too. He chipped in to 8 feet for the birdie on the 15th, a 35-foot birdie putt on the 16th, and finished with a closing birdie. So he was watching the birdie. Oh yeah. So what do you make of Rams' chances with going to the final round tomorrow? All you golf fans out there. Let me give you the top five. Let me give you the top five. Brian Hartman is first. That's Brian Hartman is first. And he's also an American. In second, 5 strokes behind is Cameron Young. Ram is six back at 207. Jason Day is at 208 and fourth, a tie for fourth, and Victor Holt. So those are your top. Those game is right. Though I'm kind of rooting for maybe Brian Harmon or Cameron Young. But Ram is a dangerous player, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And the final round begins about 4 a.m. this morning. Tomorrow morning, I should say. Remember, it's a 6-hour time difference, folks. London. Remember, guys, said the British Open, not the U.S. Open. Got to factor in that. Okay. 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 So on to more ridiculous news. A free agent running back Melvin Gordon on the third a third of his 1 year agreement today with the Ravens for $3.1 million. Source told ESPN. It was signed on Thursday. Gordon, who was a three-time Pro Bowler, will enter his ninth season. He played 5 years with the Chargers, then the Broncos. Well, he had rushed for exactly. He rushed for 6,462 yards and 55 touchdowns, and caught 309 passes with 14 touchdowns in the best year of his career, which was in 2017. Seems so long ago. Last season, he rushed for 318 yards and caught 10 passes, but had 5 fumbles and was released in Week 11 after losing to the Raiders after that miserable performance. Yeah, is Melvin Gordon really worth it, though? I mean, really, is he really worth it? Thank you, thank you. Troublemaker. Yeah, right. Yes, he's a bozo. Roger, are you still there? Okay, yeah. So, Roger, any comments on what we've mentioned so far? Well, welcome back. Well, welcome back anyway. It's nice to have you back on the show. Yes. Okay, so moving along. Remember, guys, I'm only got till 6, so I gotta move along here. Oh, wait, Steve, anything on the UFC or WWE department? Go. Yeah. Wednesday. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. So, yeah. Hmm. Okay, so I gotta move along. So anyway, on that remark, what you were making before, Gerald, about Dan Snyder, the NFL did find former Commanders owner Dan Snyder 60 million after investigation included that he sexually harassed a team employee, and not only this, but also held revenue from the NFL, a double whammy. Okay, attorney Mary Jo White, who led the investigation, informed the league's owners of her findings in a special session on Thursday. The news of her findings came at the same time that the owners had unanimously voted to sell the Commanders to Josh Harris for more than $6 billion. Is someone trying to win? Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah. They could have. Right. Right. No forward. Right. Of course. Uh, they're bad. Yeah. Yeah. They have. Yeah. Okay. I got. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. I'm getting some strange background noise, but I don't know who it's coming from. Hmm. Yeah. Someone's. No. No. Okay, I think I know who it is. All right. All right. So we'll move on. Okay. So as we're mentioning about Messi, he scored the game-winning goal as he came off the bench to score his trademark free kick in the second half of stoppage time to give Inter Miami a 2-1 win over Cruz Annual in a League Cup opener for both. It was 9:26 p.m. our time. Messi stopped warming up in front of a solid crowd, grabbing his pink jersey. The jersey is pink. Well, and jogged halfway uh, to the halfway line, replacing Benjamin Cremenci in the 54th minute. Messi's historic touch came in the 56th minute, but it was his touch in stoppage time was the only one that mattered, of course. When the visitors committed a foul from 25 yards out, 5 seconds left in stoppage time, everyone knew what could happen next, and it did. Messi curled, resulting in a free kick into the top corner with his left foot, sending the solid crowd of 21,000 into a frenzy. And anybody who watched it was also in a frenzy as well. It was a very good game for us. Yeah, we were looking for the match like this, for a match like this, and to give the fans a much needed win, said Messi. For Miami, it gave the last place team in the MLS a much needed boost to start the new era. But I think it might be a little bit late on that, Devin, to get Miami where they really want to be, though. Yeah, yeah. Of course they were. Yeah. Jimmy, is everything okay? Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yes. Okay. Moving on to college football. Georgia once again the clear favorite to win the SEC title again this year, according to the conference media poll that was released on Thursday. The Bulldogs are coming off back-to-back championships and received 62.2% of the vote, and one of all 181st first place votes. Alabama received 61% of the votes, and LSU received 31%, and were the only other schools to receive double-digit votes. Oh boy. Alabama was also picked ahead of LSU to win the Western Division. Okay. Yes, exactly. That might be a problem. Right. Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. All right. Right. Okay. Well, for you Mets fans, got some bad news as Sterling Marte, the outfielder, was put on the injured list due to migraines. Oof. The move was the move was shortly announced before Thursday's finale against the White Sox. He was not in the starting lineup for the fourth time in 5 games, though manager Buck Walters said that he was feeling better. On Wednesday, Monte went to see a specialist and underwent a scan. The Mets did not announce a corresponding move. The Mets also lost left fielder Tommy Pham, who left that game with a left groin injury while grounding into a double play in the third inning. Okay. Pham was 0 for 2 and went out to left field to start the fourth, then jogged back to the dugout thereafter. Despite tightness in the groin, Pham was hopeful that he will not go on the injured list. Well, groin injuries are kind of tricky. I think maybe he might be able to get back there, but we'll see. The Mets right now are in big trouble. Yeah, but the Mets are in big trouble. I mean, they're not the same team that they were last year, and they're fast. Yes, 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 yes. Correct. I know some people were at that game. Yeah. All right. So Titans safety Kevin Minard has agreed to a restructured contract. A source told ESPN on Thursday. According to ESPN, who first for a deal of Myers for 14.1 million on a base salary will be reduced to a mere 11 million. Gee, how are you gonna live off that? However, with incentives, he could get that money. He can get that money back. It's a little sarcasm, people. 11 million. Gee, how do you live off that? I guess I got to cancel that. I guess I got to cancel that third house in the Bahamas. Okay, so the Titans approached Bayard about reducing his $19 million cap hit back in March, but the safety refused at the time to rework the 70.5 million extension that he signed in 2019. Okay. At the time, he was the highest paid safety. Now, among safeties, he's a mere ninth. Hmm. Restructuring the deal frees up cap space to bring wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. The Titans did not come to terms on Hopkins on the deal Sunday. Uh, they did come to terms with Hopkins, but there was no signing that was announced um, for him. It wasn't official. So what do we make of that story? No thoughts? Okay, I'll move on. Gotta keep the show moving, guys. All right. Well, the Yankees got themselves yet another injury. Oh boy, it's really piling up, guys. Third baseman Josh Donaldson head to the 60-day injured list, meaning he won't be available until September 14th at least. Oh, my brother's birthday. And Savannah, yes. I know. To continue on, Donaldson injured his right calf while running to first base in last Saturday's game against the Rockies and was placed on the 10-day injured list. The next day, he was diagnosed with a grade 3 strain. Donaldson, a three-time All-Star, went on the injured list from April 5th to June 2nd with a strained right hamstring. When it rains, it pours, and of course, you know, Aaron Judge, he did take batting practice, as he's still trying to recover from his toe injury, from when he played a game against the Dodgers back in June, and hopefully he's going to be back soon, within the next maybe a week or so. But if these injuries keep piling up, I don't think the Yankees are going to get out of the last place. They're in last place right now. Wait, no, I said back. I think injuries. Injuries. 33, 30, 33. Roger. No. 30, right. Oh, come on. Thanks a lot. Okay. 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 So now we move on to our idiots of the week, and we got a pair of them actually. First up, idiot number one, Minnesota Vikings rookie receiver Jordan Addison was banned for speeding and reckless driving after an officer clocked him at a ridiculous speed. Have you ready for this, guys? 140 miles per hour. That's right, 140 miles per hour. Well, he wants to be the next Mario Andretti, so oh no. Hmm. Yeah. So anyway, to continue on, okay. on a freeway just outside St. Paul, Minnesota. That according to an incident from the Minnesota State Patrol. Addison, who was selected 23rd in this year's draft, was arrested, was not arrested, but the investigation into the incident is ongoing. Not arrested. Why not? In a statement by the Vikings, said they are aware of the incident involving Addison and we are gathering additional information. According to the police report, a patrol officer was traveling eastbound on Interstate 94 around 3 a.m. Why, I have no idea. When they observed the driver in a Lamborghini traveling at this ridiculous speed of 145 miles per hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone. And they say I can't drive 55. Yeah, right. The trooper made a traffic stop, right, and identify Addison as the driver. Yeah. Wait, there's more. The Vikings rookie players are due to report in camp tomorrow, with returning players report on Tuesday, and the first on-field workout set for Wednesday. Addison, who has missed most of the offseason workout program to a minor injury, was set to compete for a starting role in the three Vikings receiver formations. You have got to be nuts to drive 140 miles an hour. I don't get it. Right. No, I think they do die, but for them that's nothing. But 140 miles an hour on a freeway, that could be deadly. Luckily, nobody was injured or died from it. Yeah. Okay, I know what it is. All right. Any other thoughts, guys, on this madman of the highway? Okay, why don't you tell us how you really feel, Gerald? Gerald, tell us how you really feel. Okay. On to idiot number two. Yes, we can have more than one, guys. Idiot number two. Mariners outfielder Jared Clinic broke a bone in his left foot after kicking a water cooler in the ninth inning after he struck out in a loss to the Twins. Okay. Apologetic and fighting back here. He took full responsibility for his reaction. Well, he should have done it anyway. Kelenic, who was just placed on the 10 injured list on Wednesday, actually, was seen wearing a walking boot a day after the incident occurred. I messed up. I let my emotions get the best of me, and I feel awful about it. Uh, just for me, but for my teammates as well. It's just going to happen. Kelnick has been batting 252 with 11 home runs and 46 RBIs in 90 games this season. Yeah, we're at 90 games so far, guys. Um, uh, yeah, manager service. Yeah, manager Scott service said Kelnick out for extended period of time, but did not estimate how much time. But still, I mean, yeah, you can lose. You can lose and only take like, okay, tomorrow's another day. But then there are some people who don't take losing very lightly, and you wind up kicking work and injuring yourself. You have to be pretty stupid to do that. That's to do. Oh yeah, yeah, right. Okay, moving on. Okay, yeah. All right. It took 61 years for Aaron Judge to break the American League record for home runs. Aaron Judge's record could be gone by the end of the year if two-way player Show Me the Money Otani stays on his current pace. Or you want to call him by his real name, Shoni Otani. Records are meant to be broken, said Judge. That is true. He said before losing to the Angels, it would be exciting for the game if he would hit number 63 and beyond that. Otani is at 35 at the time of this report so far through 94 games. Is on pace to hit 60, Judge at 62, surpassing Maris' record of 61 in 1961. Otani has a franchise record 15 this single month of June and went deep three times in his first five games since coming out of the break. Judge said that the hurdle is more mental than physical. What do they say? Baseball is 90% mental and 10% physical. Kind of think they say that in all sports. Okay. He can hit 100 home runs He has that type of talent, just like so many other players in the league. Judge said, but it's moments like that. Yeah, ESPN had this report. All my reports are from ESPN, guys. Um, but it's moments like that. It's about being mentally able to block out the noise or lack of noise, as the case may be. In his 49 games he's played this season, Judge batted 291 with 19 homers and 40 RBIs. He ran the bases before talking to reporters on Tuesday. Aaron Boone said Judge continues to make progress, but there still doesn't seem to be a timetable for his return. But that may change. That may change by the time next week comes around. So I'll keep you Yankee fans posted on any further developments. He might be able to come back before the month is over. Maybe. And I, as a Yankee fan, would gladly love to see that. Oh, ye of little faith. Okay. All right. Well, get this, guys. For a brief moment, the Orioles were in first place in the American League East. That was on Thursday. That has not been changed. That has not been changed, of course, through the last night's win. Um, yeah. Colin Cowser, yeah, yeah. Colin Cowser hit a sac fly in the 10th to give the Orioles a 4-3 win in 10 innings on Thursday night over the Rays, who have been in a slump. The Orioles started the day in first place for the first time since in the All-Star break since August of 2016. The Orioles, who were 6.5 back 3 weeks ago, had a one-game lead as of Thursday. It's only July. I kind of It's still in July, kind of where I am with Brandon Hyde. The Rays are a good team, and it's so hard to beat, especially here. We have been on the other side of those types of games many times before, especially for a long time. You were one of the most pathetic teams in football. Yeah, right. Aaron Hicks began as the automatic runner in the 10th. He advanced on a sac fly from Adam Fraser and headed for home on Cowser's fly to left against Robert Stevenson. Felix Bautista worked a perfect ninth and stayed in for the 10th. He hit Luke Riley, struck out Randy Rosarina before Brandon Lowe bounced into a game-ending double play. The Rays lost 5 in a row at that point and tied with the Pirates for the worst record in the month of July at 3-12. After both started the season so well, I really thought that the Pirates were going to do well. I mean, after having a great April, now they just fall back by the wayside. Uh, will we ever see the We Are Family team again of 1979? I don't know. They have been for the past couple of years. And they've woken up. Yeah, We're talking before that though. Yeah, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Yeah. Oh, I got one more. Oh, I got one more idiot. I got one more idiot. It's from the Cleveland Clowns. I mean Browns, as they released Peyton Winfrey, Oprah's fourth cousin, on Thursday after police had listed him a suspect in an aggravated robbery incident. A spokesperson for the police said that its law department was still processing a report on Winfrey. There were still other details of the report at the time. So we got three idiots. Move just comes 3 days. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So the move comes 3 days before the Browns report to camp in West Virginia. In a different incident back in April, Winfrey was arrested in Harris County, Texas, after being accused of grabbing the hand of a woman he was dating that caused bodily injury, according to court records. The case of misdemeanor assault against him was dropped after Winfrey completed a diversion program according to court records. Okay, yeah, sure. Last month, Winfrey and cornerback Greg Newsom, the second, were arrested. Were arrested and were robbed at gunpoint by six men who were wearing masks outside a club around 3:30 a.m. Neither Winfrey or Newsom was injured, but the suspects did steal Newsom's truck. Okay. Winfrey was drafted in the fourth round of Oklahoma in last year's draft. He played in 13 games, recorded 22 tackles. He was suspended in the Browns' second game of the season for undisclosed disciplinary reasons. Oh, gee, I wonder what that could be. That could be anything. Yeah. Got a lot of troublemakers in the league, don't we, guys? Yeah, not everybody died. Not everybody. I mean, there are some people. Yeah. Yes. Right. Okay, so we'll move on. As I said, the Cleveland Clowns. Well, that's just being sarcastic, of course. Okay. All right. The Jets have traded wide receiver Denzel Mims to the Detroit Lions. I wonder what Taylor feels about that. The Lions will receive a 2025 seventh round pick in the deal, while the Jets will receive a 2025 sixth round conditional draft pick. That according to the source. Mims, a second in 2020, was informed on Thursday, was on Wednesday actually, that he would be waived if he was not traded to another team. A source told ESPN, confirming the report by the New York Post, a very well respected publication. And I do read that paper, guys. As stated before, Mims was excused from camp and did not report with the rest of the team. The move did not come as a surprise, as Mims failed to establish a consistent role and only had 42 catches for 676 yards and did not score a touchdown at all in his first three seasons with the Jets. Right. The trade, which was first reported by SNY, that's a sports station out here in the New York area, is the latest move in a shakeup of at the wide receiver position for the Jets, who trade Elijah Moore, a 2021 second round pick, to the Browns in March, and also declined to re-sign all pro kicker returner Braxton Berrios, who went to the Dolphins. Excuse me. All right. Any thoughts? Nothing. Okay. Yeah. 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 All right. Cowboys All Pro. Oh, Gerald, listen to this one. Cowboys All Pro guard team captain Zach is considering not reporting to camp because he's not pleased with his contract, and the Cowboys lack of restricting it. Martin said he's underpaid relative to the market. Sources have stated Martin is scheduled to make $7 million less than the league's top guards Lindstrom and the Falcons' Quentin Nelson of the Colts, and are at the top of the list, making $20 million. I think he's got a real argument here. The Cowboys reps have brief discussions at the combine about reworking the 7-year, $93 million deal he signed in 2018. In March, the Cowboys did rescind his contract for a fifth straight year to create cap space, turning $12 million of his $13.5 million base salary into a signing bonus. Martin is signed through 2024 as a result of all the restructured deals. His cap figure next season is to top out $23 million. Okay, Gerald, your thoughts? Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why would you want to come to the Commanders? No, but they're bad. Money doesn't give you championships. It's talent, skill, charisma. Right. No, it doesn't. And everybody thinks that it's wrong. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, come on. Was that really? Yes. Okay, I gotta move on. I gotta move on, Steve. Move on. Okay, so I'm moving on. All right. So I gotta move on, guys. We only got a half hour. On a lighter note, and this is in the golf course, so this is kind of interesting. Stephen Curry, the NBA, made an 18-foot putter and an eagle on the final hole to win the American Century Celebrity Golf Tournament last week. Curry, the star for the Warriors, who made a hole in one during last Saturday's play, fared with a closing eagle of par five for 18 hole at the Inglewood Golf Course. Naturally, after the putt drop, he tossed it in the air and celebrated the victory with his wife. Oh wow! I don't play golf for a living, said Curry. So this is something you dream about. I have been playing in this tournament for a decade now, and I finally got the hardware to show for it. Well, congratulations. Curry finished with 75 points, two ahead of former tennis pro Marty Fish, who won the event in 2020. Fish was 3 points ahead of Curry, heading to the final, heading to the 18th hole, but only could make par. Fish put Lee Curry on three birdies, one first six holes. He moved into the lead as Curry made three straight bogeys on the 11th, 12th, and 13th holes. Curry finished the final round with a 72, while Fish ended up with the best round of the day with a 69, three under. And some of these other stars on the list for this tournament, hey, Steve, these names ring a bell. Joe Pavelski of the Dallas Stars, former NBA pitcher Mark Mulder, Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers, never heard of LAPGA great Annika Sorensen, Derek Lowe, and Tony Romo finished on the top 10. Uh, Pretty impressive list, guys, for this tournament, don't you think? Well, that's another story right there. They may be good commentaries, but it's an annual golf event. Yeah, yes, it is for charity, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but this is not unusual because you got the Hero Challenge with Tiger Woods on. So there's a number of golf charity events throughout the year. Okay. Oh, another NBA note here. The Nets and the Cavaliers will be playing a regular season game in Paris this upcoming season. This will be the third regular season played in the French capital, and we played at the Alcor Arena on January 11th, 2024. I'm going to bring the baguettes. The Nets played a preseason game in Paris in 2008. We are very excited to have this opportunity to play in Paris in 2024 and bring the Nets to the international stage, saying a statement by Nets general manager Sean Marks. This will be the Cavaliers' third game overseas and their first in Europe, as they play in China in 2007 and a preseason game in Brazil in 2015. Cavaliers president of operations Kobe Allman said we are honored as an organization playing in Paris. The opportunity to provide our players and coaches and families an experience into a different culture and create memories both on and off the court and will last a lifetime. I agree with that. So the Nets are going to Europe. Hmm. This should be interesting. This should be fun. I think. Okay, moving on. The NBA's new CBA released last month ahead of last month's free agency came with a previously undisclosed side of indicating that Ben Simmons received credit for the year of service of the season which he sat out of the Sixers and was traded to the Nets. Sources told ESPN. Years of service come into play when determining whether players are eligible for max contracts of certain sizes or size and for other benefits. Counting the 2021 season issue, Simmons had 7 years of service in the NBA. Officials from several other teams from the league have argued that Simmons should not receive credit for the 2021-22 season, sources said. I don't think he should have done it at all. He barely played. So why would he give him credit for something? No. No, you got you should play at least half of the season to get credit for it. Otherwise, it's not legit. I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, anyone, he's been pulling all these stunts and everything. He is not worth it. I'm sorry. Who's worse, Kyrie Irving? What about Kyrie? What about Kyrie Irving? Exactly. Exactly. Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, I got one more idiot, guys. I got one more idiot. A misdemeanor simple assault charge against Titans outside linebacker Rashad Weaver was dropped according to reports. The criminal case was closed as Weaver's trial that was set to begin on Thursday had been canceled. The charge was tied to an incident at the court outside a bar in Pittsburgh in 2021. A woman had told police that Weaver grabbed her by the throat and pushed her to the ground where she hit her head. According to the Tennessean, records displayed the prosecutor decided not to pursue the criminal charge, which he should have. Weaver played college ball at Pitt before being selected in the fourth round by the Titans in 2021. Weaver only played 2 games in his rookie season after he suffered a broken fibula. Well, sorry to hear about that. Um, Last season, he had 27 tackles with 5.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery in 16 games and started in 4 of them. All right. Wow. Yeah, yeah. Yes. That's a good question. I mean, the process sometimes, takes a long time. Hmm. Yes. That was another case right there. Yeah, I know. Mhm. Some people are. Yeah, as you shouldn't. Okay. So moving on to the list here. The Golden Knights forward. Well, it's time for Brett Honan to a 2-year, $3.8 million deal with the team back on Thursday. Both sides were able to avoid arbitration, that dirty word. Howden had 7 assists and 6 goals in 54 games last season before stepping up in the playoffs with 5 goals and 5 assists in 22 regular season games. It was his contributions that led to the Knights to their first Stanley Cup title last month. He scored 2 goals in game two. And that 7-2 victory over the Panthers. And the Knights won 5 games. Ugh, 7-2. When that happened, I think it was safe to say that the Panthers didn't have much of a chance to win. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Blue Jays pitching coach Pete Walker was ejected in the second inning in a game back on July 19th. Was a Pirates for arguing balls and strikes with plate umpire Malachi Moore. Walker and the Blue Jays manager John Schneider were not happy with several calls made in the first inning, including a two-strike pitch to Juan Soto that Moore called a ball. Soto later hit a home run. Moore had already won the Blue Jays dugout twice when Walker came out to the mound to visit pitcher Alex Mahon after a after two walk to Trent Grisham. Walker did not turn to face Moore when the umpire walked out to break up the meeting, continuing to speak with his hand covering his mouth after arriving on the mound. Moore ejected Walker. This was the Blue Jays' third injection of the year and the first for Walker. All three ejections were for arguing balls and strikes, which is something they can't do. But apparently, some coaches and players just don't get it. You can argue other things, but you cannot argue a ball or a strike. You can argue foul, argue outs, but if you not balls, no, you can't. You can argue, right? You can argue a call if he was out or safe, but you can't argue if it's a ball or a strike. No. Okay. Well, if you like offense in a baseball game, boy, have I got something to tell you. It was a slugfest. It was slugfest city across the majors on Wednesday night as 12 double-digit runs, something that has not been done since 1894. That was the dead ball era. There were 3 games that ended with the same score of 11-10, and that had never happened before. 12 teams tied on May 30th, 1884, for the second most runs in one day. That trails only the third team back on July 4th, 1894. So we had a slugfest there. Okay, let me take a roll call. Steve. Okay, Steve, you there? Diane. All right. Alex? Okay, wait a second. All right. Gerald, are you there? Yeah, I'm hearing something in the background. It's got to be something. Roger's there, okay? Okay, I know where it's coming from. Well, I'll move on anyway. All right. So anyway, the Cubs crushed the Nationals 17-3. The D-backs outlasted the Braves 16-13. The 3 games that end up 11-10 were the Giants beating the Reds, the Mets barely beating the White Sox, and the Reds getting past the Tigers. 4 games that saw both teams score double-digit runs matched the record of July 4th, 1894 and July 9th, 1898. Long time ago, folks. Every team in the AL Central scored at least 10 runs. The only time that happened since the division era back in 1969 was on September 15th in 2000, and that was all done by the AL West. So there was some pretty good hitting on Tuesday night, wasn't there, guys? Yeah. Something must have been in the water that night. Probably. Or they've been using aluminum bats. No. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. Former LSU pitcher Paul Skinnis, the #1 pick in last month's draft, signed a contract with the Pirates that includes a signing bonus of $9.2 million. Regarded as the best pitcher prospect since Stephen Strasburg of the Nationals, his deal eclipses that of the 2020 $8.4 million deal by Spencer Torkelson when he signed with the Tigers. Skins had a fastball clocked at 102 miles per hour, had a slider in the mid 80s that made him a star with the Tigers, and went 12-2 this season, and en route to the CWS. He was named both National Pitcher and Player of the Year, and guided the Tigers to that College World Series win and was the most outstanding player in the College World Series. Can't say nothing more about that. I mean, that was just phenomenal. Unfortunately, the three-game final itself, nothing. Completely, the first game was close, but the second and third game were just, mismatches right from the beginning. Well, from the in the College World Series, yeah, the Tigers won that. I mean, the first game was close, but the second and third game, no. Okay, and that's controversial. So, you know, I was set to watch that third game, but my power went out that night. I couldn't do it. Thanks. Yeah, it was. Yes. Okay. In a nod to Celtics legend Bill Russell, Lakers star LeBron James will change his uniform from number 6 back to number 23 this season. Rich Paul, Clutch Sports, told ESPN. This is LeBron's decision, said Paul, who was his agent, and a nice gesture indeed. Russell passed away last summer at the age of 88. The NBA retires number 6 jersey across the league. The first time a player was honored in such fashion. Current players wearing number 6 at the time were grandfathered in and could keep the number if they choose to do so. Was their option. Known as the sport's ultimate winner, Russell was honored in 2009 when the Finals Trophy was named after him. LeBron is a four-time recipient of the award, with Russell personally handing over the trophy to him after the Cavaliers won the 2016 title over the heavily favored Warriors, which I don't know how they lost, but they did. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly my point. I mean, you had to put on the ultimate choke signal to lose that game. Yeah. Okay. Moving along. Um, oh, Joel Embiid might be done trusting his process with Philadelphia if the Sixers fail to complete for a title in the near future. Embiid was named league MVP last season, and there's 8 seasons with the Sixers, making his next move. I want to win a championship no matter what it takes, Embiid during an interview on the at the Uninterrupted Sports Film Festival. I don't know if this if I'll be with the Sixers or with somewhere else. I just want to be able to accomplish that. I want to see what it feels like to win the first one and then think about winning the next one. Okay. It's not easy, but it's not easy, but it takes more than a few players. You have to have good people around you. I agree. And myself every day. I work hard to be at the next level so I can make that happen. So that every day I can look forward that through the interview took place on Thursday. The video made its debut on social media on Friday of last week. And being said, yeah, yeah, sure. I do that. All right. So shall we go to this week in history? Okay. That's not it. Oh, all right. So, okay, there we go. This weekend, I should say this weekend sports history. Thank you. Because we don't want, okay, otherwise we get mixed up with other stuff that's not related. And I can't do that. All right. Okay. So, trying to come up on current history here. In 1921, U.S. Open men's golf Columbia Englishman Jim Barnes won his third of his four major titles, 9 strokes ahead of runners-up Walter Hagen and Fred McLeod. 1923, Washington Senators future Hall of Famer Walter Johnson becomes the first to reach 3,000 career strikeouts and route to 3,508 with a 3-1 win over the Cavaliers. 1925, Yankees buy future Hall of Fame shortstop Leo DeRocher from the Hartford Senators of the Eastern League. Wow. Philadelphia Phillies beat the Cardinals 5-3 to complete a team record 11-game winning streak, the longest win streak since 1892. Chicago White Sox outfielder Floyd Robertson goes 6 for 6 all singles as the White Sox defeated the Red Sox at Fenway Park in 1962. Good. In their second clash, Sonny Liston once again beat Floyd Patterson in the first round at the Convention Center in Las Vegas to retain the World Heavyweight Boxing title. Liston beats Patterson. That wasn't we didn't start the fire. Okay. Atlanta Braves established the MLB record of pitchers called upon in one inning. They used 5 in the ninth, getting a 5-4 defeat to St. Louis in 1967. Okay. Tour de force. MLB California Angels outfielder Brian Downing's era ends his record streak of 244 games. Wow. 1984, Steve Valderos of Spain wins his second of third Open titles, 2 shots from Bernard Langer and Tom Watson. He was such a great player. 1990, Greg LeMond won the 77th Tour de Force bike race. Okay, Tour de France. 1990, the U.S. Amateur Golf Championship was won by Phil Mickelson. Wow. 1993, Yankee Don Mattingly has 200th home run. Donnie Baseball. Yeah. Mariners played the Red Sox, the home team, at Fenway as the Kingdom was being repaired in 1994, just before the strike happened. 1997, Greg Maddux throws a complete game in only 76 pitches. How about that? 76 pitches and you get a complete game. You don't see that in this day and age, do you, folks? Okay, WNBA. I got some WNBA news here. Bear with me on that. The Houston Astros and Vegas Aces will be honored at the White House next month by President Biden. The Astros will visit the White House on August 7th to celebrate their World Series title. Yuck. And the Aces will visit on August 25th. The Astros went 105-56 in the regular season and beat the Phillies in 6 games. It was the Astros' second time in 6 seasons, much to my dismay. The Astros have an off day off on August 7th for a 3-game series with the Orioles on August 8th to the 10th. The Aces, who topped the WNBA standings with a 19-2 record, will be in town as they play the Mystics on August 26th. The Aces beat the Suns to win the WNBA championship last year for their first title. As the World Cup got underway, Australian striker Samantha Kerr missed the first 2 games after suffering a calf injury in training camp. Football Australia announced Kerr's injury moments after submitting their first official team sheet against Ireland back on Thursday, saying Kerr suffered the calf injury during their final training session. What a tough break. She missed the first game against Ireland and will probably miss Nigeria on August 27th. She will miss that. The forward from Chelsea will be evaluated by team doctors to determine her availability for their final game in group play against Canada on July 31st. Yeah. Oops, I think I missed something here. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I got something else. Oh, yeah. Jewel Lloyd set a new scoring record of 31 points and earned MVP honors as Team Stewart rolled against Team Wilson, 143-127 at the WNBA All-Star game last week. Lloyd, who was the league's top scorer with an average of 25.7 points per game, scored 31 points from behind the arc, hitting a record 10 3-pointers, and also had 4 special 4-point shots for game purposes. Yeah, they had a 4-point shot for this. It's kind of like a special bonus this year. Don't ask me why. Okay, I was looking for something because there was a tragedy in a bike race today. Just awful. It was in Austria, and it was a 17-year-old boy that was killed in the race, and as a result, the race was canceled. Just a shame, though, what happens. So young like that, and it had to happen. Oh, Giants had signed running back running back James Robinson, wide receiver Cole Beasley Jr. The addition of Robinson provides depth at running back and insurance in case of any potential buyout from Saquon Barkley, who has not signed a long-term deal. The Giants and Barkley have been a stalemate for a long-term deal, with Barkley stating that he might stay out the entire season. Barkley is one of the centerpieces of the offense, the number 2 draft pick in 2018, running for 1,332 yards and 10 touchdowns with to go with 57 catches for 303 yards last season. Robinson, who played for the Jets and Jaguars last season, signed a 2-year deal with the Patriots in March, but was released after the first day of minicamp in June. Robinson had his best season as an undrafted free agent in 2020, rushing for 1,070 yards and scored 10 touchdowns in his debut season for the Jaguars. He was traded to the Jets in midseason, but only played 4 games and recorded 85 yards with 1 touchdown reception. He has 2,262 total yards and 23 touchdowns scored. Mm-hmm. And the 5:15 is a little bit late. And Yankee catcher Jose Trevino will need season-ending wrist surgery, as he told reporters, while slugger Aaron Judge is set to take batting practice as he works his way back from a toe injury. Trevino was placed on a 10-day injury list before the opening game against the Royals today. The Yankees recall catcher Ben Revolt from AAA Scranton in a corresponding move. Trevino has had torn ligaments in his left wrist that has been bothering him since spring training. He tried to play through the injury and played 55 games this season. He last played on Monday. As Judge prepares to take batting practice, Yankee manager Aaron Boone said yesterday the Yankees might be able to give a timeline for his return following this session. See, I told you. So he might be able to come back. All right. Now, where is that? Yeah. And the Nationals, former LSU outfielder Dylan Cruz, this year's number 2 draft pick, agreed to a $9 million signing bonus. That according to multiple. Yeah. The second largest signing bonus in MLB history, right behind his former teammate, this guy who signed a $9.2 million with the Pirates on Wednesday. Go figure that out. And Marquise Goodwin of the Browns will miss the start of training camp due to blood clots, revealed yesterday. Now that is not something to joke around with. Goodwin began experiencing discomfort with his legs and slight shortness of breath during OTAs in the spring. Follow-up tests showed that blood clots were in his legs and lungs. He has not known if Goodwin will rejoin the Browns on the practice field. He was signed by the Browns in the offseason. Goodwin was 187 career reception and was brought into play a key role for the Browns receiver rotation. That's not something to joke around, guys. Okay, here's the tragic story right here. Italian cyclist Jacopo Benzo died in a crash in a race in Austria, his team said in a statement. He was only 17. The crash occurred in the first stage of the Turin Rundfahrt yesterday. Benzo was flown to Kepler Clinic in Linz as a rescue helicopter. He later passed as a result of his injuries. Just a shame. The tour was canceled. And Aaron Rodgers has yet to play his first official game with the Jets, but his future became a big discussion in training camp. Rodgers said it would be a disservice if they only had him played for one season, and Coach Robert Saleh added he would be shocked if Rodgers only did play one season with the Jets. So would I. Yeah, quickly. I'll say 3 seasons. The Jets did a lot. Right. Okay. Yes. Yes. The Jets did a lot for me, so playing one season would be a disservice. He told ESPN Radio. Now, if it's starting to be a magical year, who knows? It's more than that. It's how my body feels. I made some changes in the offseason when it comes to training and diet. So I don't want to hold him back into a corner and make him commit to something like something like that. Just I wanted to let loose as he walks in the building and enjoy playing the game. Odds are, if you enjoy playing the game, you want to keep playing it. I would not put pressure on him to commit to something like that anyway, but I would be shocked if he only played 1 year. He was acquired by the Packers in the offseason. All right, guys. So I'm just about ready to wrap it up. Thanks for coming in. Roger, it was nice having you back. Right. Well, I don't know. That's the thing is, he is 40 years old now, so that's a little bit hard to come by with that. You got to factor in that too. So you got to keep that in mind. All right. So next week, of course, I think we'll get ready with the trade deadline for baseball. That's rapidly approaching. Of course, the best and worst of the month. And I think I have my nomination for best of the worst month already. More on training camp reports, and more stuff with the NFL and any NHL and NBA news that come away. So we'll take care of that. So on that note, I'm gonna sign off, and I wish everybody a pleasant week and have a safe and happy one. And we'll talk again next week, same time, same station. On that note, good night. But let me do my introduction before I go on my you know that introduction. What is this? All right, just let me thing here, and then I can get out. Oh boy, I know. Just let me. Okay.